To understand how our LoRa-based smart farm system came about, we must necessarily explain about the MakerBox Lao. Makerspaces have become ubiquitous. Within ASEAN, several such world-class places exist. In the Lao PDR, however, no such space existed until now. The MakerBox Lao is unique in that it is the first public community makerspace in the Lao PDR. MakerBox came about because the co-founders saw a need for a space where people from all walks of life can explore, innovate, and create, turn their ideas into practical prototypes, products, and services, as well as a place where they can get practical, hands-on experience with tools and equipment. MakerBox first opened its doors in February of 2021 on the ground floor of a shopping mall. We had visibility, but we were in the middle of the pandemic. We grew, however, and soon we had a steady stream of people coming into our workspace to work on their projects, attend our workshops, and in general, learn, collaborate, and innovate. Some of our more successful workshops covered topics as varied as Linux programming to cybersecurity, a weekend paint party to decorate our space, and a month-long series of workshops about our solar system and outer space. Attendance reached nearly 300 over a period of 5 weekends of workshops on this topic, and we brought in speakers from the European Space Agency, the Vietnamese Space Agency, Cambridge and Arizona State Universities, and more, all via Zoom, of course. While we had teams using our space to develop projects, we also started to look around for projects that we might generate by ourselves, and thereby offer additional opportunities for students to participate and learn. We held several hackathons, including hacks related to solving problems for people with disabilities, from which our very own text-to-speech project was launched, and hacks related to smart tech. It is from these activities that we were introduced to APNIC and ISIF, and the opportunity to explore and develop smart agriculture systems for farmers in the Lao PDR. Our pitch for funding focused on developing a smart ag sensor system based on a LoRaWAN long-range, low-frequency wireless access network to provide communication and information services to remote agricultural areas, particularly those areas where traditional telephone coverage, 2G, 3G, 4G, was limited or non-existent. Landlocked, Lao has very little manufacturing or large industry activity. Electricity generation accounts for a large amount of the nation's GDP, but traditionally, agriculture contributed well over 50%. Although over the last decade that number has dropped to slightly below 20%, agriculture still is an important contributor to the nation's economy, while also offering livelihoods to millions. Some of the major crops include paddy rice, maize, cassava, tea, and coffee plantations. And there is still a large portion of traditional farming that occurs on the steep slopes of the country's mountain ranges. It is this challenging geography that has also hampered rollout of telecommunications infrastructure across the country. In many more remote and often mountainous locations, telecommunications infrastructure consists at best of 2G coverage, or at worst, no coverage whatsoever. The lack of infrastructure also means that farmers have limited or no access to information that may help them increase their crop productivity or even garner better prices for their produce. Our project aimed to resolve this issue through the implementation of a long-range radio network that would be able to access and transmit critical information that might assist farmers. The grant we received from ISIF allowed us to develop our preliminary prototype using imported pre-assembled sensor modules and LoRa gateways. The first phase of this project also involved extensive field testing to determine the transmission capabilities of LoRa technology in various terrains. Our tests revealed that while LoRa could cover distances of up to 7 kilometers in flat terrains, this range reduced to approximately 4 kilometers in more challenging landscapes. These insights were crucial as they guided the design and deployment of our network, ensuring reliable data transmission across diverse geographic conditions. Further, the imported pre-assembled modules, although effective, proved to be too costly for widespread deployment in the rural and economically constrained areas of Lao PDR. Recognizing this limitation, we shifted from the more expensive LoRaWAN backbone to a simpler, more affordable LoRa-based mesh network that was locally designed and a more cost-effective solution. This new approach centered on using affordable and readily available components, ensuring that the system could be easily maintained and operated by local communities without relying on expensive imports. The locally developed solution featured a modular design, which included sensor nodes for collecting environmental data, relay nodes for transmitting this data across distances, and exit nodes connected to the internet via 4G networks. Each of these components would be solar-powered, further enhancing the system's sustainability in remote areas where electricity supply is often unreliable or non-existent. A critical aspect of our project was ensuring that the technology met the actual needs of the community. To this end, we conducted an extensive survey across multiple regions, engaging nearly 80 farmers. The survey revealed that, while real-time sensor data was valuable, farmers were more concerned with practical issues such as livestock disease management and crop price fluctuations. This feedback made it clear that any technological system would first and foremost have to align with the community's priorities, ensuring that the technology would be both relevant and useful. Given the feedback from our initial prototype training sessions, where we found that local technicians and farmers struggled with the complexity of the system, we decided to incorporate a strong capacity building component into our project. This led to the organization of a hackathon, designed not only as a development exercise, but also as an educational opportunity. Over 20 students from various technical backgrounds participated, working on different aspects of the IoT system, from sensor integration to the creation of a Lao bytecode font for more accessible local use. The hackathon aimed to build local technical capacity and foster a sense of ownership among participants, ensuring that the community could sustain and scale the technology in the long term. The project is ongoing as we continue to finalize the technology and elements from sensors to mesh network to final gateway and information displays for farmers. By continuing to refine our approach and build on the lessons learned, we are confident that we can create lasting positive impacts, helping farmers to improve their livelihoods and adapt to the challenges of modern agriculture. In addition to our LoRa-based project, MakerBox is involved with several other projects that aim to create livelihoods, incomes, and opportunities for the people of Laos. At present, a team of young entrepreneurs is being supported by MakerBox as they develop their natureware products, tableware made from leaves, while another team is working on an early warning system for flooding in the Mekong River, utilizing water level sensors combined with the capabilities of AI to predict flood dangers. One team is also teaching robotics and basic coding to children, while one of our co-founders is studying in Japan, researching the possibilities of creating the very first muscle and brain impulse-controlled prosthetic device for Laos, a country that carries the unfortunate title of being the most bombed country in the world. Annually, hundreds of people are still maimed by such unexploded ordnance. This project is also backed up by another innovator who is recycling PET drinking water bottles into 3D filament, which will then be used to print the prosthetic devices. Although these projects are external to our ISIF project and the focus on rural communications for agriculture, they are an integral part of what makes MakerBox the research and development organization that we are today, inspiring students and entrepreneurs to bring their ideas and projects to reality and making a difference in the lives of the people of the Lao PDR, the MakerBox Lao.